Well, this class is about computer programming, and we are learning how to program in a language called JavaScript. And JavaScript is the computer language that's used to design most of the websites that you see out on the internet.
Computer programming, we code and we work in Khan Academy. We make like pictures and games.
In computer programming, we program really cool games and pictures and work on Khan Academy.
Rock history is about how the history of rock and roll basically, and like what pieces of music went into. There was like a lot of different pieces of music that went into making rock as we know it now.
We learned how rock was formed, and we learned a lot about Elvis and a bunch of the first classic rockers.
So rock history teaches the history of rock and roll, starting with the earliest rock stars, which goes back to the 50s with Elvis and Buddy Holly and Bill Haley and the Comets and artists like that. And we hope to, right now we're in doing the 1960s, which is the Beatles, Woodstock, Jimi Hendrix, who else is in the 60s? Crosby, Stills and Nash, and bands of that era. So we that it's only lasts for a trimester, but we hope to get as far as we can in the 70s and hopefully the 80s as well.
We learn things that we never knew before, and we learn about constellations and the cool apps that we have on our iPads.
We do a lot of things, like we did the constellations, and we made our own. And Miss Sale got apps on the astronomy kids' iPads that's called Star Walk, and we can basically go outside and face the iPad towards anywhere, and it'll show us what constellations are right there. So, yeah.
Astronomy is a class that I decided to teach when Mr. Roberts told us that we could choose an academic elective. I love astronomy. I love thinking about how big things are and how big things can get, and the fact that we are these little teeny tiny pieces of nothingness in this vast universe, and all of the discoveries that we've made over the years, especially in the past several hundred years. The scientists from a long time ago had some really good ideas, but they didn't have the tools to really discover it, and now we can. And it's just so much fun, and I'm learning a lot, the kids are learning a lot, and we're having a lot of fun.
Leadership class is about learning how to plan assemblies for weeks and knowing how to just arrange things and helping out school.
The leadership class is about planning stuff, and we make all the dances, the assemblies, spirit rallies, and all that stuff happen.
In leadership, we organize all the events on campus, the dances, the fundraisers, lunchtime activities, assemblies, all the fun stuff on campus we have our hands in. We learn a lot. We learn a lot about organization, we learn a lot about how to put an event on, we learn some community service, how to be a good role model, we learn a little bit of math even, we do a lot of stuff in here. When? It's always been academic. Since the very beginning, we've had my kids working really hard to put on these events. They're learning everything about organization. They're learning, they even have to write up, when they finish an event, they have to write up what's going on and what they learned and all that.
What have you learned in plant and soil science?
Things such as like how to do like a compost basket or how beekeeping works, different things about garden stuff. And over there you would see we're currently building a garden for our school and digging holes, and we're going to plant stuff. And you just learn about garden stuff, and it's cool if you pay attention.
What do you do in plant and soil science?
Well, it really depends on the day. Earlier in the trimester, we were watching videos about what the composting and how to make a garden. But sometimes we go out by the E-wing and are currently digging holes to put fence posts in for the fencing around the garden.
In between movies, we do projects for art, and we like study art, and we do a bunch of artists that we study from Renaissance.
Okay, you see this poster right here? This looks like Jack Black. It isn't Jack Black, it's Paul Revere.
We watched King Kong, both of them, the 1976 one and then the 1990-something one or something like that. And then we watched Jaws. We just finished watching The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Like Vertigo, Jaws, and King Kong are the best three, but there's more.
Journalism is an elective for 7th and 8th graders alike who come to explore the world of gathering, processing, and the dissemination of news all across campus. Students dig deep to uncover the true stories behind all events and bring it to the public's attention. We work hard to gain all the facts and knowledge that can be uncovered.
So this one, get out, they'll catch up with it. We gotta get two completely different interviews.
Pictorial portrait of Lyman Gilmore and his first airplane that he had here.
We check the audio to make sure it's at its best sound quality.
We edit the videos to make it look better.
Okay, how are we doing on the how to get an A in PE segment, guys?
Well, we're doing pretty good. We might need to do another interview with the PE teacher.
Do you have an interview with Mr. Mills?
Mr. Mills, yes. But
Do you have an interview with Mrs. Bill?
No.
And so you got to get the Mrs. Bill interview.
All right, what do you guys think of the mural segment? I want plus, minus, and deltas. Anthony.
I thought that was a little short, and maybe we could add another interview.
Jack?
I think we should know who painted the mural, maybe.
Aurora?
I like the voiceover, and I like the shots of the mural.
Well, we learned about the different
camera shots and angles, and about the rule of thirds, and editing and headroom, and finding a good background for an interview, and yeah.
So far we've learned about the 5 W's and an H, which is who, what, when, where, why, and how. And every Friday people put their segments up on the board and we take notes on it.